Welcome to the Northwest Cup Series, race number 9 in season number 4. It's the last race of the regular season. We were going to jump to a championship race, but we've decided to do a 5-race playoffs like we have in prior seasons. There's 30 cars in your field today, 9 laps here at Talladega. It'll be very interesting indeed as you see the starting line way past where it would be at Daytona. But we're going to get ready for your starting lineup here in Talladega, and I'll tell you who your playoff drivers will be. Brad Keselowski and Christopher Bell, they're out of playoff picture. The two behind them in row number 2, it's Chase Elliott and Chris Buescher. They're both locked into the playoffs. Behind them, William Byron and Kurt Busch, who is locked into the playoffs. Then Logano and Ryan Newman. Logano's in the playoffs. Denny Hamlin's locked into the playoffs as the points leader with Bubba Wallace. Then Ryan Blaney's in the playoffs, hoping for a win here today like he did last season next to DiBenedetto. Then these two, the Kyles, are locked into the playoffs. Chase Briscoe and Martin Truex Jr. are both in the playoffs. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ross Chastain are not. Then there's Tyler Reddick, who barely didn't make it in, and Kevin Harvick, who's locked in. Then Eric Jones and Eric Almirola. Then Austin Dillon and Cole Custer. Cole Custer, if he wins today, can be locked in. Then Alex Bowman and Daniel Suarez. Corey LaJoie and AJ Allmendinger. And Joey Gase making a return, and BJ McLeod in the final row as we get ready for ones to watch. Brad Keselowski, he's on pole today. If he does win this race, he can lock himself into the playoffs. He's hoping for a win here today to knock out Cole Custer. Then Chase Elliott, he's hoping to get a win. He had a pretty bad race at Charlotte last week, wrecking out. He's hoping for a good run today at Talladega. Then Kurt Busch, he's won 2 times this season, and he's your last Super Speedway winner at Daytona. Denny Hamlin, he knows how to get it done on Super Speedways, and he's hoping for a good race today. He's starting alongside his driver, Bubba Wallace. Let's see how they do today. Then Ryan Blaney, he's the last winner here at Talladega last season, race number 4. So it's been a while for Ryan Blaney, but he's hoping to get back and win. Then Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, and Chase Briscoe all near each other. All these guys locked into the playoffs, hoping for a good run today to not lose any points on points leader Denny Hamlin. Truex having so many second-place finishes so far this season, and Briscoe doing so well on his 3rd season here in the NWCS. But look out for these 4 today as this race continues. And look out for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who's back there. We'll see how he fares. Then Kevin Harvick, second in points. Can he catch points leader Denny Hamlin, or will he have to subside for the 10 bonus points heading into the playoffs? Then Cole Custer, he won last week's race at Charlotte, and he's excited for today's race as he feels like he can work with his teammates and get to the front and make the playoffs. The YellaWood 500 begins soon here on the Northwest Cup Series channel as we're going to get ready to go green. The green flag is in the air. Brad Keselowski leads them down. Already a nice push from the 9 of Chase Elliott and his teammate William Byron behind him. Keselowski blocks the outside lane. Christopher Bell ducks to the inside, and Christopher Bell is going to come around to lead lap number 1 as he drifts up the racetrack, and here comes Chase Elliott 3 wide already. These guys not wasting any time getting 3 wide. Here comes Logano down to the inside. The 2 Hendrick teammates block that move. Here comes Keselowski back to the inside of Elliott again. Super aggressive as we lead them into lap number 3. Keselowski with his teammate Logano, not going to see much moves from there. Look at that bump to the lead. They're still doing a little bump drafting. No locking so far as Denny Hamlin jumps up to the high lane. Into lap number 4. Oh, and back to Benedetto around. Oh, a huge hit into the outside wall, and Alex Bowman's collected as well as Daniel Suarez and Allmendinger slide through the grass. Let's see what happened here as Benedetto almost blew over there. Roof flaps deploy, get that car back on the ground. Seeing a lot of airborne cars so far this season, and we still have one more super speedway to go to in the playoffs, that being Atlanta. Benedetto around. Huge hit into the outside wall. Almost flipped up and over as Alex Bowman gets tagged in as well. One of your hopeful guys to make his way into the playoffs, but it won't be happening today for Alex Bowman. Just a bad bump from Kevin Harvick. Turns Matt DiBenedetto around. And Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez, and AJ Allmendinger are collected as Corey LaJoie. If you look there, makes some evasive maneuvers down through the grass on a pit road. Lucky the splitter did not get ripped off of that machine, as Eric Jones might have gotten some contact there as well. And the seas parted for Ross Chastain just to squeak his way through. So you see it again here. Just a humongous hit for Matt DiBenedetto. A mesmerizing crash here on lap 4 of 9 as we're going to get ready to go back green on lap 6 of 9. Green flag back in the air. The Penske drivers lead the field down. Here comes Logano on the outside lane with a big run. He clears his teammate Keselowski with Ryan Blaney behind them as well. Here comes Larson. He's going to stick his nose 3 wide. Oh, Keselowski gets turned up in the air. Kyle Larson around as well, and he's upside down, rolling 2 times. Chase Elliott involved, and Chase Briscoe, Eric Almirola, and that took out Stewart-Haas Racing. Blaney got a little bit of airtime as well, and what in the world just happened? As Keselowski tried to clear down on the inside lane and wrecked the entire field. Let's see what happened here, as it looks like they're going to display the red flag. Yes, they do. They stopped the cars on the back straightaway. Joey Logano will be your leader, but you see here, Keselowski up in the air. Then Larson just gets hooked by that, and Larson upside down, rolling over 2 times, it looks like, almost a third. As you see Cole Custer shoot through. Bubba Wallace almost made it through, but Eric Almirola came down the racetrack and almost took out that whole Stewart-Haas Racing team who was running in a line on that middle lane. You see, there goes Briscoe. Huge hit into the outside wall, and then Eric Almirola in the back collects Bubba Wallace. Almost collects Cole Custer. But a big wreck there. Is Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell involved. Chase Elliott was hoping to not lose any points today, but he definitely will lose a lot of points exiting this race. But the big one does strike. We were wondering when it would happen, but it happened now. On lap 6 of 9. Going to give us 2 to go once we go back green. But a few good drivers still left in this field. We have Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano. Kurt Busch made it through. I think Kyle Busch made it through. Yes, he did. William Byron made it through. So a good bunch of drivers left in this field as we go back green. Not a bunch of underdogs again. Tyler Reddick, Eric Jones, Kevin Harvick, Austin Dillon, Stenhouse, all left as we go back green here. Green flag is back in the air. Joey Logano leads them down. He's got Kurt Busch on his bumper. Denny Hamlin has William Byron behind him, and they have a huge run on the outside lane. Martin Truex Jr. shoving that line as well. Here comes Kurt Busch to the bumper of Denny Hamlin as they're coming to the white flag. William Byron ducks low. Here comes Joey Logano on the inside. 3 wide as they cross the line. Into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Byron back on the outside. He's got a little bit of a run. Joey Logano there. Oh, Kurt Busch around, up and over. He collects Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. Here comes Chris Buescher to the outside for the lead on Logano. Here comes Jones. Here comes Cole Custer, the back bumper of Buescher, to the line, and I don't know who it is. I think it could have been Eric Jones or Custer. There's a big wreck on the back straightaway. What in the world just happened? Kurt Busch with probably the weirdest flip I've ever seen in the Northwest Cup Series history, even stop-motion history in general, similar to Casey Mears' flip here at Talladega, as the car flipped over from the front end almost. Wow, what in the world was that crash? All the Joe Gibbs teammates lined up with each other. First time they actually make it to the end of one of these plate races together. And then Kurt Busch flips upside down. Luckily, he's out of the car and back. And he's responsive, so he is fine, and so are the other teammates that were involved. And as they came to the line, here comes Buescher to the outside lane. Byron disappears from the picture of a win. Here comes Jones to the bottom. And it looks like it's going to be all Buescher and give himself a good cushion heading into the playoffs. And coming to the line, Custer and Jones. Cole Custer might have just done the unthinkable and went back-to-back. Let's see it again. 4 wide to the line. And it's Cole Custer. It looks like winning here at Talladega in the closest Northwest Cup Series finish ever. Look at that. That is phenomenal. 4 wide to the line. And your top 5, it's Cole Custer winning again. Chris Buescher, Eric Jones, Joey Logano, and Kevin Harvick. Custer opted to do no burnout to give respect to the drivers with a terrible crash on the back straightaway. As we're going to look at your points heading into the playoffs, Hamlin has 56, then Kevin Harvick with 55, Chase Briscoe with 45, then Kyle Busch with 45, Blaney with 43, Kurt Busch 39, Truex 37, Elliott 32, Custer 30, Logano 29, Larson 28, and Buescher 25. Those will be your top 12 heading into the playoffs. Anyone can get it. The points are going to reset, and we're going to give 15 to the leader, and on so. So thank you guys so much for watching. The next race will be Chicagoland, and this has been the Northwest Cup Series. Thanks for tuning in.